When Reed says we're ready, I'm going to pull down my pants and commit social justice.
Please don't.
And we get it on film.
All right, so we're going to do the claim. Wokeness as an ideology will be pushed into ill repute in 6 months. Strongly agree. Okay, why do you strongly agree?
Well, because I can already see it happening.
Actually, should I take a...
If you want.
All right, yeah. I'm gonna go with disagree.
Okay. You can already see it happening. I just tweeted out today, it's just so much easier right now, for example, to criticize DEI and the accusation of racism, which is really the only tool they have. That's the main tool, and their offshoots like bigotry, homophobe, transphobe, some kind of phobe. That's losing its cachet, it's losing its power.
So do you think the majority of people that buy into it now won't buy into it in 6 months? Is that what you're saying, or something else?
I'm saying a few things. The majority of people who buy into it now will not only not buy into it in 6 months, they'll claim they never bought into it. They never believed it. They never went along with the crowd either. But they're going to claim they have these, they won't say liberal impulses, but they have, they want justice, they want fairness,
Okay, so let's try to tease this out, because I know a lot of people who I wouldn't say are fully woke by any stretch of the imagination. Some of my friends that are still good friends who buy into part of it.
Yeah.
Because it's a whole suite of beliefs, right?
Correct.
Do you think people will overall reject the whole suite of beliefs, or just specific ones that are no
all
longer
of it.
fashionable?
Yeah, pretty much all of it, yeah.
Wow, interesting.
The trans stuff, the racial stuff, the gender stuff. And then even within the gender stuff, there'll be factions and divisions. We're just seeing the beginning of that right now.
What do you think will be the main reason?
That people will abandon wokeness?
Yeah.
It's so fucking stupid. It's truly the most idiotic
I'm gonna move.
Set of ideas. Oh, really? Why did you move?
I moved. So just to clarify before you write anything down. So I moved with the idea that a majority of people who buy into the majority of wokeness now won't buy into it in 6 months. So yeah, write down your best reason for thinking that.
Boy, I have so many good reasons for believing this.
Now, I might be describing this more broadly than you, perhaps.
The best reason you have for believing that is relating to trans. And you believe... No? Okay. You guess mine.
Well, you sort of already told me a little.
Don't let me see.
Yeah, you already told me a little bit. I'm guessing because it's so crazy and more people are realizing that it's crazy, fewer and fewer people will want to profess their belief in it.
Nope.
Was it close or no?
Nope.
All right, you guess mine.
Because they will be fearful of not having any friends. They'll be fearful of losing their tribe. So if they speak out against it, then their peer group will fall with them, and they'll be lonely and sad, isolated.
That's a good reason. I don't know if it's better than what I have, but that is a good reason. That's not what I put.
It's not what you have. Okay.
Yeah. Okay, I have another guess. Because some other deranged ideology will take its place, and people will start believing that.
Nope.
Like Christian nationalism.
Nope.
All right.
All right. Let me guess yours again. Sunk cost fallacy.
No, that's kind of similar to the Friends problem, but no.
Okay.
No. Yeah, I don't know. Those
you want me to just show you?
Yeah. What is it?
It has no. Sorry, I'm on my pen shit. It has no apologetic. It has no defense.
Right.
There's no way to rationally defend the idea. That's why they have to call everybody Nazis and racists, and that's why they don't participate in conversation, because the idea is inherently undefensible. It cannot be defended. That means it needs some other enforcement mechanism to keep the ideology in place.
Okay, so the reason is that the enforcement mechanisms are falling away? Because the first part's not a reason why it would go away in 6 months.
No, the first one's a reason for why it would go away,
right,
but not in 6 months. The second, after the M-dash, it's related to that. It needs, I can't even read my own writing, it's so terrible.
It needs an enforcement
Which means
mechanism.
it needs some kind of enforcement mechanism.
So, just so I understand,
Yeah.
you think the DEI offices and...
We already see them being defunded now.
I see,
We
okay.
already see them, And how else are you going to enforce I guess you could have some social enforcement. Political correctness is a kind of enforcement.
Cultural, yeah.
Yeah, you can have you can pass laws like they do in London to do that, but they can't be defended, period. And the people who could defend them are incapable of defending them because they've never exercised that muscle for years. It's atrophied.
Sure.
It's like sclerotic.
Do you have one more guess for mine, or are you?
I believe that you believe that the ideology is gonna not fade away in 6 months. This is a long shot, but because there's gonna be a foreign influence that props it up, particularly during election season.
No, it's a lot broader than that.
Okay, you've spoken to people and they've given you their heartfelt testimony, and you don't think those people are just gonna change their mind. They're true believers.
No, that's a good reason, but that's so anecdotal that I couldn't draw. Yeah.
Let me see if I can get another one. You believe that the ideology is going to remain in place because we've constructed entire institutions that support the ideology, and because the institutions support the ideology, there's a built-in incentivization structure, a mechanism for artificially propping it up.
That's close, but do you want me to show you?
It's close?
Close-ish, yeah. It's more generalized.
Okay, I guess, yeah, show it to me.
Maybe you'll disagree with my definition of this, but the foundational ideology has deep roots that will not allow most people to abandon it. So I think it's a foundational problem. And so I'm associating wokeness with more general kind of far leftist thought.
Yeah,
and I don't think that will go. I mean, it's been around for hundreds of years. And
yeah,
but
but
the last several decades, you could call that incarnation of leftist thought wokeness.
Okay, so I'll tell you why I disagree with that. So as I wrote in my first book, leftism has been paresthetized by wokeism. And so...
See, I don't know if I agree.
You think wokeism is the natural trajectory that leftism will take in?
I think so. I think it depends on how we define leftism. I'm thinking specifically, even though he doesn't say this, but in Thomas Sowell's book, Conflict of Visions, I'm thinking of the unconstrained vision. That's really what I mean by this foundational ideology. That's maybe a little too esoteric, but what it generally informs leftist thought, yes, I think naturally leads to this kind of identity politics.
So you think that this is the end of leftism is identity politics?
Sorry, what do you
At the end of the road, the telos of leftism is identity politics.
At this point in history, yes. So I could be convinced that it could go away in another maybe decade or more. Like if people evolve to then start hyper-focusing on something else other than identity categories.
Okay, that's always possible. I could be convinced, like I said to you, that Faisal told me that foreign entities are funding and propping up the ideology. I think that you'll see the manipulation of algorithms by TikTok, for example, continually pushing the trans stuff, continually pushing something that divides us as a country, as a people. The whole BLM stuff out of Qatar and Oman, the Gulf states, funded by the Chinese and the Russians. So some kind of external exogenous influence to prop up the ideology.
Right. Is there anything else that would change your mind? Is that it?
Yeah, I mean, I agree with you that there could be some kind of a new ideology that could pop up, and that's entirely possible. I've said that it's UFOs, but Reed and I just learned something, oh, you were there too, with Schellenberger, that it may not, that caused me to doubt whether or not it's UFOs. I think the sheer embarrassment of having to admit that you believe something so utterly insane, so totally preposterous, and not only that you believed, either that or that you pretended to believe, the sheer embarrassment of how people would feel is so
But don't people believe in really insane shit all the time and they never...
Yeah, but there's far more evidence for the fact that a man cannot be a woman than there is for Jesus walking on water. Right? It's far more likely that after you die, you go to the happy hunting grounds if you're a Native American.
Yeah, it's completely
like
unfalsifiable,
literally anything
untestable.
Else. Correct.
Yeah. Whereas we
so
we
you
do
would
know
have
that men
to,
can't become women.
You would then have to admit that you believed utterly insane shit.
Hi everyone, thanks for watching. I hope you're enjoying my channel. Don't forget to subscribe, and if you'd like to see more of my work, you can head on over to Locals, which is an awesome free speech platform that won't take down or flag any videos, which YouTube is known to do. It's a great platform because people want to be there and they'll engage in meaningful dialogue with you, and it's awesome. Plus, if you sign up for a paid account, you can get access to content that is exclusive to Locals. You'll find a link for that in the description below. Also, if you ever see me lying down in interviews or in any of the videos, it's because I lived with debilitating back pain for years, so I just wanted to explain that so you understand what's going on. And sometimes my little dog Nora might make an appearance. Nora, come here. Don't be shy. Don't be shy. All right, thanks everybody.